Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today, we're going to break down 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. That's right. As we start to wind down 2022, you better be looking ahead to what's coming down the pipe. If you're a small business owner, then staying on top of trends can be the difference between you exploding your business and you ultimately closing your doors. So let's get ready to get into 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. Do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and your brand, smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Local Biz Marketing Pro Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're a small local business and you're trying to dominate your local market by optimizing your online presence, increasing your lead flow, and growing your revenue so you can expand your operation and ultimately contribute more to the communities that you serve, then you need to check out localbizmarketingpros.com. We have some wonderful products and services that will help you do just that. localbizmarketingpros.com. Today, we're talking 16 hot marketing trends for business owners in 2023. That's right. We are already looking ahead, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are not, then shame on you. Yes, we're wrapping up fourth quarter 2022. And as business owners, it's important, especially as small business owners, we've got to stay ahead of the trend. One of the things that makes us so dynamic and so unique as small business owners is the fact that we can be nimble. It's the fact that we can literally move and make decisions and pivot faster than the big companies. So it's important for us to stay up on top of trends so we can get ahead of the curve at all times and not fall too far behind the curve. So I'm excited about today's episode. So, but y'all know how we do, man. We got a couple quick announcements. Hey, Monetize My Life Academy, ladies and gentlemen, the reboot is about to go down. And when we talk Monetize My Life, this is primarily for overworked, underpaid fathers who feel a little bit embarrassed, sometimes ashamed that they're not able to provide for their families in the way that they know that they could. For whatever reason, we help them leverage the power of the internet and social media to build $1,000 to $3,000 in monthly recurring revenue so that they can finally get ahead of their bills and restore that sense of pride and fulfillment. And it's an amazing program. We're adding weekly training to the program this time. There's 3 ways that you're going to be able to generate revenue for you and your family. on-demand courses. I mean, we are really pouring our heart and souls into this. No disrespect to the ladies, of course, you can join and leverage some of these tools and resources. But my aim is to help fathers become better providers and more efficient providers so that they can have more time to spend raising their family. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, weekly office hours. If you guys have not already joined Local Biz Marketing Mastermind, the private Facebook group, we have tons of free training loaded in there on a weekly basis. So make sure y'all check that out. And then we are also starting monthly in-person networking meetings for those of you who are in the St. Louis market. Be on the lookout for that and tell all your friends, man, we can come hang out in person and get to know one another, get to figure out how we can support each other in business. So we're super excited about that. So let's officially get the show started. And y'all know how we do that. We start every show here on the Cortez Hustle Show with a quote of the day. And today's quote says this: we're not who we say we are. We're not who we want to be. We are the sum of the influence and impact that we have in our lives on others. And that's a quote from Carl Sagan. I want you to think about that, man. Are you intentional with your influence? Right? Give me a 1 in the comments if you are intentional with your influence. I believe so wholeheartedly in the law of reciprocity, the law of sowing and reaping, that I am very intentional. As I was coming up as a young man, being the father of 5 sons, I intentionally sow words of wisdom and words of empowerment and uplifting words to any and everybody who would listen, but in particular to young men. Why? Because I know there's going to come a time in my sons' lives when I'm not around. And I hope that I know that the seeds that I've sown into the lives of other young men will come back and bear fruit in the way of someone sowing into their lives when I'm not around, right? Are you intentional with the influence and the impact that you have, right? I follow some amazing, amazing people. Shout out to my girl, Bridget Bartlett. And you guys may have remembered that we had her on the show a couple Fridays back, but she went through some things with some business partners. And as the leader of our group, she had to come back to us and tell us that, hey, I led y'all down the wrong path. It did not work. That's not a good group that we want to be connected with. And I love people who operate in integrity, people who understand the power of the influence and the impact that they have, and they try to wield that power with integrity and with light, right? Hopefully you understand, no matter where you are in life, whether you own the title of leadership, whether you have a high position or not, you have the influence and the impact on somebody's life. I hope you're taking that seriously. I hope you're being intentional with how you are trying to impact and influence people's lives so that you can leave this world a better place. And I can't remember who said this quote, but I'm gonna give you another one before I go, right? Ask not what the world needs of you. Just find out what makes you come alive, because that's what the world needs. More people who have come alive and being intentional with your impact, your influence, trying to make someone's life better, trying to leave someone's life better after they met you than before they met you. I don't know about y'all, but that makes me come alive. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that quote of the day. If you have a favorite quote, drop that in the comments, man. I would love to read what you consider a good quote as well. So that is the quote of the day, brought to you by Local Biz Marketing Mastermind. That's our private Facebook group where we talk all things marketing, all things social media, all things business development. And we're just building an amazing community for small business owners to come in and learn and grow, because we know that small businesses are the heart of the community. They are the soul of this economy. But a lot of times small business owners die broke after giving to their communities for 30, 40, 50 years. We don't want to see that happen. And one of the ways we can ensure that that doesn't is by making sure that their marketing is on point, by making sure that their business finances is on point, by making sure that they have a community of entrepreneurs to lean on when the going gets tough, and they're not out on an island with no support, dealing with the stress that comes with running a small local business. So facebook.com/groups/local biz marketing mastermind is a group. It is 100% free. Just do not come in this group trying to spam and that kind of stuff. Be genuine and be there to help and support others, and everybody else is there to help and support you. So let's get into our main topic for the day: 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. Let me grab the link to the article that we'll be studying today. And this is from the good folks over at Asana. If you're not familiar with Asana, it is amazing. Amazing platform for collaborating with teams and things of that nature. It's a project management type software. So I don't know about you, but I'm already excited about 2023, even though we haven't even finished October of 2022 yet. But that's how you have to do it. You have to know how and when to look ahead. So let's see who wrote this article for us today. Basically, they don't give an author for this one. It just says Team Asana. So 16 marketing trends and strategies for 2023. 2023 is set to be an interesting year in marketing as trends shift to accommodate new technology and buyer behavior. These 16 trends will impact your marketing strategy for years to come. From black and white newspaper ads to keyword analytics, marketing trends come and go as brands learn to leverage new tech. In this ever-evolving landscape, brands can't just rely on their tried and true marketing practices. Consumer values and preferences have shifted, with effective marketing tactics following suit. So, with the new technology and consumer behavior, 2023 is set to be an interesting year in marketing. So we're going to get into 16 hot up and coming types of marketing, starting with number 1, long-term influencer brand relationships. Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that influencer marketing is about to get even hotter than it already is? Historically, one of the best marketing strategies is word of mouth advertising. People are more likely to try a product or service if someone they know and trust recommends it. Influencer marketing, which involves a collaboration between a brand and an individual with a specific niche and a large online following, takes the concept and modernizes it for today's new digital era. So if you as a small business owner are not familiar with influencer marketing, it basically is word of mouth marketing on steroids, right? Think about it. If I tell my neighbor about how great your product or service is, and my neighbor trusts me, I've told them about good products and services, recommended good movies and restaurants, and they had good experiences in the past, why wouldn't they trust me on this one too? They go out and they experience your product. Now, guess what? What if I, as an influencer, has a genuine connection with 10,000 people in your local business community, right? And I do the same thing on a platform like this, my podcast, or on a Facebook or Instagram Live, or I make a post or a tweet, and I have lots of people's ear and attention. That's what influencer marketing is. And a lot of us, as I would call myself a micro influencer, we talk to specific audiences. So what does that mean for you? That means if you, for instance, I talk to small business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, network marketers, coaches, consultants. So if you have a product or service that makes good sense to introduce to my audience, then I would be a good collaboration for you, right? 93% of marketing professionals use influencer marketing for reasons like increasing brand awareness. Now, sometimes you can get with an influencer and they can just shout you out, and lots of people get to know your name, so your brand awareness grows up. Building trust and authority, reaching their target audience, driving conversions, right? So sometimes particular influencers, when they say go buy something, their followers go buy it. So that's a way to increase conversions, generate leads, setting new trends, connecting to a wider audience, right? Find people who are talking to your ideal customer and client and figure out, how can I, as a business owner, strike up a partnership that's mutually beneficial for us all. Hey, I'm going to put some money in the pocket of the influencer. The influencer is going to allow me to rent their audience for a period. Like on Instagram, for instance, you might do this with a particular influencer, and they might post something about your business or your brand and leave it up for 24 to 48 hours. So basically, you're renting their audience for 24 to 48 hours, right? Y'all know how we do it, man. Why do you think influencers or professional athletes and entertainers and actors and have these endorsement deals? Because they've gained the love and the trust of a large group of people. So when young athletes saw a young Michael Jordan wearing Nike tennis shoes, they were like, hey, it must be the shoes. So I want to wear Nike tennis shoes also, right? Well, the same thing is happening with all of these micro influencers who are creating brands and developing audiences and influences all over the world. So you don't have to have you don't have to be a famous actor or athlete, right, in order to create some of these brand collaborations. So number one, these 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. Gary Vaynerchuk has been talking about this for a while, but it's really, a lot of brands are starting to take hold of it, right? While this form of social media marketing isn't new to 2023, brands are seizing the opportunity to build more authentic connections with their target audiences by appointing long-term brand ambassadors, right? These mutually beneficial relationships allow the brand to build lasting relationships with their influencer partners, while the influencers can maintain trust with their audience by promoting the same brand over time. So it's not just about a one-off, hey, let me just give you $300. You put this post on your page for a couple of days. It's more like, hey, what does it look like for us to pay you every month for 12 months to continue to market not just this one product, but this line of products, and talk about it and share with your audience, and use the products and all of that kind of stuff. So it's an amazing, amazing, amazing opportunity for small businesses. And there are people who have podcasts, there are people who have Instagram followings, there are people who have YouTube followings, in very, very specific niches that can match your business and or your brand. But you have to look out, be careful, get out there and follow them, find or make sure that the intangibles line up, right? There's a lot of people who got big numbers, and you might just want to go and talk to someone who's got big numbers. Well, you got to be careful, because big numbers could mean that they paid for a lot of robots to click the like and the follow button. So those aren't real people. Big numbers don't also mean they operate with integrity. Don't always mean that they have the values that align up with your brand. So that's where a good interview process, good onboarding process, a good screening process comes into place for you and your company before you decide if you're going to work with some of those people, right? So make sure you do your homework, do your due diligence, but by all means, find a couple of influencers that are talking to your target audience and see what it takes for you guys to create some brand collaborations to increase your brand awareness, build more trust, reach a larger audience, drive conversions, generate leads, set new trends, connect to wider markets. The list literally goes on and on and on. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking 16 hot marketing trends for 2023 for small businesses, solopreneurs, and business owners in general. But y'all know I'm trying to serve the small business community. So we've got 16 of these to go. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the first 8 today, and then we're going to jump into the last 8 on Monday. But before we go any further, we've got to pause for 1 minute motivation. If you're new to the Cortez Hustle Show, every episode we do something called 1 Minute Motivation. That's where we share a short motivational video, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. I'm going to give you my takeaways. I'm going to ask that you give your takeaways as well. So let's get ready to get into some 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
So what I want you to do, as soon as you open up your eyes to start the day, is to immediately start focusing on something or someone that you are totally grateful for in your life. I don't care what it is or who it is, but I want you to feel it with your heart and soul. Your only goal as soon as you open up your eyes should be to make yourself feel good and to give yourself enough confidence to get through the day. Don't worry about what needs to be done. Think about who you have to be in order to get it done.
I believe the emotions that many of us consider negative, like frustration and rejection and pain, can be our greatest friends because they can drive us to success. You know what? I think one of the things that happens for a lot of people when they get successful is they get superstitious. It's like they work so hard for the success and they now finally have it, so all of a sudden they don't change, they don't vary their behavior, they kind of like want to stay the way things are. They get incredibly conservative and they miss out on the juice of life. Stay out of the trap. Listen, when people succeed, they tend to party. When they fail, they tend to ponder. Now, the pondering, many times we create our greatest successes in life. Just remember, it's impossible to fail. If you try something and it doesn't work, just try something else and learn something from what you just did. As long as you learn something, you've succeeded.
Hoo-wee. Man, that was some heavy, heavy stuff. Let me know your takeaways in the comments, man. As I look into this, man, that was good. Frustration and pain can drive us to success. And a lot of us run from frustration and pain, meaning not if something challenges us, we just tuck tail and run. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't even try a lot of things because we anticipate those things causing us frustration and pain, right? Before we even start down the road of opening a business, writing a book, launching a podcast, we anticipate the frustration and pain and we talk ourselves out of it, right? And we stay in this little bubble and this little comfort zone. And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but while there's a tremendous amount of safety and security inside the comfort zone, nothing ever grows there. And life is all about growth. In fact, if you're not growing, you're dying. And who wants to do that, right? At 48 years old, I'm steady trying to increase opportunities for me to grow, trying new things, testing and getting outside of my comfort zone on a regular and consistent basis, because I know that growth, right? Me becoming who I need to become is important in order for me to do what I need to do if I ever intend on having what I want to have, right? Don't worry about what needs to be done. Worry about who you need to become. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a picture of what you want yourself to look like in 2030 and 2050? Do you have an idea of the type of person that you need to become in order to build or do the things that you need to do? Because that's the sequence of events. You have to become first so that you can do, and ultimately the result of the input from doing is what you'll have, right? I can't have a long-term 7-figure, 8-figure, 10-figure career in the media business until I can become a 7-figure, 8-figure, 10-figure human being. Oh, I wish I knew who said that quote, but it changed my life. You've got to become a 7-figure human being before you can become a 7-figure entrepreneur. You've got to become the person capable of running a multi-billion-dollar international media conglomerate before you will ever have one. As Jim Rohn would say, if somebody hands you $1 million, you best become a millionaire fast so you can keep the money. What does that mean? See, there's a mentality that goes along with being a millionaire. There's a certain set of habits that millionaires do that allow them to grow into millionaire financial status. So if someone gave you $1 million today, if you're not a millionaire in your mindset, you won't even keep the money. That's why lottery winners can win a boatload of money and go broke, because you gave someone who was a thousandaire or a hundredaire $1 million. So they quickly went back to who they are at their core. I know I'm growing into a billionaire, right? Because I'm putting in the work. I'm looking at what billionaires do. I'm studying their habits and I'm adopting them, right? Don't worry about what needs to be done. Worry more about who you need to become. Because if you become the type of person that can get the things done, then by nature, you're going to do what you need to do. And that all starts with gratitude. Start every day with gratitude. Lord, thank you. You gave me another opportunity today. Lord, thank you. My wife is breathing. Thank you. I don't have a text on my phone that something happened to any of my loved ones in the middle of the night. You got a gazillion and one things to be thankful for. That's an easy way to get yourself out of bed in the morning when you realize how much you got to be thankful for, right? Give it a try. Give it a try. In our economy, in our society, we have succumbed to fear tactics, right? If you've ever watched the movie Monster Inc., it's an amazing story about how our society functions. Our society functions primarily off of inducing fear to get you to move, right? And in Monsters Inc., what did they do? They collected screams, and the screams powered their society, the monster society. But then what happened? They realized that an even more powerful energy source came from laughter, right? Why am I going here? Because if you pay attention to the news and the media, they spend 95% of their time talking about the 5% of negativity that goes on in our communities. And if we're watching that, it makes us feel like our communities are 95% bad. That ain't the case, y'all. Is there some bad stuff that goes on in our communities? Absolutely. I grew up in a community that was ravaged with poverty, drugs, murder, sex, all kinds of stuff. 95% of the time that I walk out of my house, though, nothing bad happened. Right? So you have to learn how to focus on and shift your focus on the things that go on in your day. 95% of the time, they're good. They're positive. They're moving you into a happy place. But what we tend to do is let the 5%, the people who tick us off, the person who cuts us off in traffic, the negative word that a boss or a coworker said, that's 5% of the overall joy that happened in your day. But when you harp on that 95% of the time, you think your life sucks. Understand how to leverage the power of gratitude is all I'm saying. And you, my friend, can change your life. So that is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Local Biz Marketing Pros. Listen, if you are a small local business and you're facing the marketing challenges that most small businesses are facing, we have the solution, right? We're solving the biggest marketing challenges facing local small businesses, not only so that you can keep your doors open, but so that you can grow and expand and do even more for the communities that you serve. Check out localbizmarketingpros.com. So we're starting this series. It's a 2-part series on 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. We started this thing off with number 1, longer, more impactful relationships with influencers. Find someone who is speaking to your target audience, right? And see how you can partner with them in some way, shape, or form. See how you can rent that audience for a little while. So that was number 1, on the list, right? Number 2 of these 16 hot marketing trends for 2023 is live streaming and video-based content. Now, I've been way ahead of the curve on this. I've built my entire business since 2015 on video marketing. And I love what I've built so far. And that's why I'm going even deeper into the media space, because I understand the power and the impact, not just as an entrepreneur, but if you got a message to get to the world, then there has never been an easier time with no gatekeepers to get that message out there, especially as small business owners. One of the things that I try to coach my small business clients on is to understand how to better tell their story, tell it more frequently, and in more mediums. Live streaming and video is one of the ways to do that, right? Video-based content is becoming a key focus area in social media marketing because it can capture a viewer's attention for a longer amount of time compared to a static post. From TikToks to Instagram Reels, marketers are using bite-sized videos to drive engagement and increase brand awareness among millennials and Generation Z. Live streaming is also proving to be an effective marketing trend. According to one report, consumers spend around 548 billion hours streaming through mobile devices in 2021. Wow. When paired with influencer marketing, live streaming allows potential customers to engage with influencers familiar with the product, talk about the product, and make the purchase all while watching the stream. Huh? Wait, what? See, all you have to do is pay attention to what these bigger brands are doing. Facebook, Instagram, of course, that's one company, but TikTok is going there. Pinterest have gone there. All of these companies have moved to what's called, Google is going there. So if you Google products and services today, you can actually buy those products and services without ever leaving Google, right? It's called social commerce. What is social commerce? Social commerce is the marriage between e-commerce and social media platforms. Now, as a social media platform, if I own Facebook or Instagram or any of these networks, I would be doing the same thing. Those networks get paid by the amount of eyeballs that are on their platforms. When I do a post or when I do a video and I tell people, for instance, to go to localbizmarketingpros.com, I'm taking people off the platform, even if I've delivered to those people exactly what they're looking for. Facebook on one hand loves me. YouTube on one hand loves me. I created content that was engaging, that was relevant, but at the end of the day, I took people's eyeballs off the platform to go into my site. So what are they all doing? They're all coming up with their own unique ways to say, hey, local biz marketing pros, why don't you upload some of your core products into your shop on your business page and let people just buy them right here on your live stream. Let them just buy them right here from the Facebook platform, the Instagram platform, the YouTube platform, the Google platform. So instead of them having to leave the platform, they can buy right here. And once they finish the checkout, you're happy because you got a lead, you got a customer, they bought the product. We're happy because you provided relevant content, you serve the customer, but when they finish buying the product, they're still on our platform. Oh, I want y'all to pay attention to what's happening, small business owners. If you are not connected with Facebook, Instagram, if you have not turned your profiles into professional profiles and created your shops on these profiles where people can actually buy from you right in these profiles, you're missing opportunities. You're missing opportunities, right? How many of you guys have seen on Facebook when you click a link, it gives you this weird message and basically asking, are you sure you want to leave the platform? We don't know if that website is safe that you're trying to go to. Are you sure you want to leave the platform? And you're like, yeah, I'm not sure it's safe either. That's all right. I'm just going to stay right here. Anybody ever experienced that? Most websites, when you try to do that, click on a link that's in Facebook. Facebook gives you that message, and you end up changing your mind. How much business are you losing when you do that? Think about it. If that is your link and people are trying to do business with you, they click on your link and Facebook or some other platform gives them this weird message that basically spooks them to not going to your platform. What they're trying to tell you is, hey, don't link them away from the platform. Link them to your store inside of the platform, and we'll reward you for that. I'm just saying, understanding these trends is critically important. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. We're doing 8 today. We're going to wrap up the other 8 on Monday. So number 1, we talked about influencer marketing, right? Long-term influencer brand relationships. Number 2, we talked about live streaming and video-based content. Number 3, user-generated content. From TikTok trends to hashtag OOTD posts, right? Now, I don't even know what an OOTD post is, so I got to get up on my game. User-generated content is a new word amount. This type of content is original and brand specific, created by consumers rather than brands, right? So this is unboxing videos, makeup reviews, branded hashtags, and photo tags are all examples of how brands can take advantage of user-generated content. And on TikTok, they make it super, super, super easy because they allow you to do duets. So if someone is talking about my brand, they're unboxing one of my products, they're doing a demo of one of my services that are software systems, I can do a duet with them and further promote that my customers are happy with my services. Wait, what? Yeah. So figure out how you can increase the user-generated content from your customers, right? Anyone can create user-generated content. Adding this tactic to your marketing strategy can take your brand's authenticity to the next level. Consumers are 2.4 times more likely to trust user-generated content compared to content created by brands, proving that now's the time to prioritize authenticity in your marketing strategy. So, how can you get user-generated content? Well, how do you get anybody to do anything? You incentivize them. So maybe when you send a customer a product or service, you leave them a note that says, hey, if you do a live video unboxing, we'll give you 20% off your next order. Oh, I like 20%. Let me pull out my phone and let me show everybody how I got this. Just make sure you tag us in the post so we can share it. Now, what does that say? Oh, if I'm trying to be an influencer and this bigger brand, if I do a piece of user-generated content and I tag them and they turn around and share that and share me to their audience, that's going to grow my reach. So now you are literally scratching each other's back. You're giving me some authenticity to my brand. You are giving me some user-generated content. And I'm, on the other hand, going to expose you to more people to help you grow your brand as an influencer. How about that? There it goes again, the law of reciprocity, or what the good book talks about as the law of sowing and reaping, right? So number 3, user-generated content. Number 4 on our list of 16 hot marketing trends for 2023, new targeting solutions, right? New targeting solutions. Google is set to phase out third-party cookies by the end of next year due to rising privacy concerns. What a cookie does is allows you to get your hooks in someone who just visits your website. They don't even have to buy anything. They don't have to click anything, but just when someone lands on your website, you're able to put some tracking code on their on their browser, so to speak, their IP address. You're able to then pixel them and follow them around the internet, right? So Google is phasing that out. So cookies play a role in target marketing by tracking a user's behavior across the web so marketers can deliver a customized experience. In order to remain relevant, brands are testing alternative tagging solutions to continue developing highly prioritized content and ads. So if they're phasing that out, the question becomes, what are you going to do? Right? One of the things that we can do with Local Biz Marketing Pros and our software suite of tools is, if we get someone to opt into our system, right? They give us their first name, email address, and preferably their phone number. We can send them to pages to shop with us, and we can actually address them by first name on the page, right? Think about that. Someone that you connected with, if they come back to your website, what if your website said, hey, welcome back, Cortez? Wait, what? That's personalizing the experience, right? What if when they buy your product, they go to your checkout page and the checkout page says, thank you so much, Cortez, for your purchase? Wait, what? Yeah. You can do all sorts of things like that when you have the right tools and resources in place. A lot of us have started to believe that word of mouth marketing, because it's the best marketing, that it's the only marketing that we need. And I love word of mouth marketing, but you want to compound your word of mouth marketing by investing in tools and resources. Now, I know it might be hard for you to hear this coming from me because I'm a marketing agency, right? I sell marketing services. Of course, I want you to buy my services. But think about this. If you're treating your customers right, and they're going to tell their friends about your products and services, then what happens if you reach more customers that you're going to treat right, who's going to tell their friends about your products and services? That's how you scale, right? We've all seen these businesses in our communities where they've got something amazing going on, but they seem to never grow, right? They have a solid crowd on Friday and Saturday, but during the week it's dead, right? They have good sales and they have some explosive days during the month, but why don't they ever grow? Why don't they ever expand into another location across town? Because they won't invest in marketing. It is word of mouth. We're just going to let word of mouth do its thing. And there's nothing wrong with word of mouth. I'm saying what you should have on top of word of mouth is a good reach strategy, right? Take care of your existing customers, but also reach more customers. So when they buy and experience what you have to offer, they're going, now the amount of people who are telling people about your amazing products and services is ever increasing. So figure out what types of products and services you can leverage that are affordable within budget that can help you reach more people, right? And it's not always about spending money on advertising, right? One of the newest products that we're putting together for restaurant and retail owners is our VIP text club system. So you can reach people through text messages, less than 1 cent per text. You can be right there inside of your customer's phone with a special offer, reminding them that, hey, for the month of November, we're doing something special, right? Less than 1 cent per text message, right? Figure that kind of stuff out for your business and or your brand. If you're interested in that, then I'll put a link in the comments and the show notes for you to check that out. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. Yes, we got to start looking ahead, even though we haven't quite wrapped up Q4 of 2022. But what's coming down the pipe? How can we pivot? So number 5 on our list is agile marketing, right? We were just alluding to some of this just a while ago. So, as the name would suggest, agile marketing is an approach inspired by the agile methodology. It's a way of working that involves rapid iterations rather than one big project. Agile marketing emphasizes real time collaboration and is designed so that marketers can respond more easily to change. Some of the benefits of agile marketing is flexibility to adapt to change due to uh, iterative planning, right? I want you to think about the benefit of being a small business is a lot of times there's not a board of directors that we have to run things up a chain before a decision gets made. One of the things that makes us so special is the fact that we can be agile in all aspects of our business. I want you to think about a speedboat versus a cruise ship. I see big mammoth corporations like Amazon and Walmart and some of these major institutions that they serve their place in our economy, but they are cruise ships. How long does it take a cruise ship to change directions versus a speedboat? A lot of small businesses are not staying up on trends and making these pivots as quickly as they could be. And sometimes it's because they're trying to front like they're bigger than they really are. No, I'm a small business, very small, very nimble, right? There's one decision maker that has to clear any move that we make, right? And I leverage that. I pivot quickly. I make changes fast. And you probably could be leveraging that in your business as well. Also, the ability to deliver value early and often by grouping individuals into small cross-functional teams that can finish projects autonomously. More focus on customer value and business outcome as opposed to activity and output. Those are things that small businesses can really deliver on. The personalization of the relationships that we can have with our customers over some of the big institutions, right? Some of the big institutions, if you're not spending tens of thousands of dollars per month with them, you don't even get an account rep. And if you do get an account rep, that account rep might have 200 accounts. How personal can they be? How often can they call and check up on you, right? We've got to leverage our most powerful asset. And that is the fact that we are small, right? More data-driven decisions thanks to an emphasis on experimentation. That is something else that is huge. Like if you're a small coffee shop owner, for instance, and you in the middle of the night had a download from God that you need to try a new flavor, you can have that new flavor on your shop menu tomorrow. And you can test it and experiment in real time and get real feedback from your customers as to whether or not it's a good move or not. Like a lot of big institutions can't do that. So we've got to take better advantage of that. And then also better transparency and collaboration through visualized workflows and frequent touch points, right? Because we are boots on the ground. We're getting real-time feedback faster. We don't have to send out an email survey and wait for that to come in. If you got a new product or service and your customer tries it in your store, you can ask them right there face to face, how'd you like it? And get instantaneous, real honest feedback, right? That's a benefit of being small, but we got to stop trying to downplay our smallness, stop trying to front like we are bigger than we are, and leverage the agility that we have for being small, right? I think one of my favorite examples of this is my son plays basketball at Rockhurst University, right? He is 5'8", he might be 5'8", right? And what he says all the time is, when I step on the court, Dad, people look at me and they see that I'm small. And one of the things that they like to try to do with small guards is, well, I'm going to take that small guard into the post because I'm bigger. I'm going to bully him around. He said, but they forget that I've been a small guard my entire life. Like, this is not the first time that someone has tried to take advantage of my size. So I've developed certain strengths and habits to be able to deal and maneuver in those situations because I'm small, not in spite of being small. And it usually surprises the bigger players when they try to take advantage of a small guy, because it's like I've been small all my life. So it ain't new, right? You can't get to be a starting point guard at a Division II school if you can't play, right? You got to be exceptionally talented to be that small and playing on that level, right? And sometimes people forget that. So I don't want our small businesses to let go of our little people's complex, our Napoleon complex, right? We that's part of our edge. So lean into that, not lean away from it, trying to represent that you're bigger than you actually are. That's one of our superpowers, right? So if you're just tuning in, man, I'm rambling and ranting on about the 16 hot marketing trends that's exploding in or set to explode in 2023, and hopefully giving you some things to research so that you can go and start getting ahead of some of these things. Number 8 on our list, right? Cohesive customer experiences. These are marketing trends that can take your business to the next level. Customers expect a personalized, tailored experience that speaks directly to their needs. At the same time, marketers must avoid looking through a campaign-only lens, since consumers don't interact with brands through a single method or channel. Marketers must understand specific interactions in the customer's entire journey and focus on a complete experience, not a point in time campaign, right? What are you doing to make sure that you wow your customers, right? Clovell says, absolutely, right? Our nimbleness is what makes us special, and we've got to take advantage of that, and we got to leverage it more, right? When I listen to Dr. Myron Golden, he talks about Apple being a $3 trillion company. He said, how does a company go from, in 40 years, 0 to $1 trillion? And then 2 years after that, go from 1 trillion to 2 trillion. And then 2 years after that, go from 2 trillion to 3 trillion. He said they focus on 3 things: customer acquisition. Once they acquire the customer, they focus on wowing the customer. And once they wow the customer, they focus on assembling the customer regularly with their annual events, their new product launches that have their customers lined up in stores, their Apple stores all over the country where their customers can come in and just geek out on their products. That creates an experience that's unique to Apple. That's why me as an Android user, if I get in a text group with some Apple users, they kick me out of the group, right? They bash me, right? They have this culture around their brand, and it stems from the user experience, which they invest a lot of money into making sure that they get that right. How much are you investing in your customer's user experience? From the point that they are an interested prospect, I'm trying to get my customer's name, email address, and phone number. From the very point, when you go to my website, the first thing you see is schedule an appointment, download this, get this free that. Why? Take this free trial. Why? Because if I can get your first name, right? If I can get their first name, I can then address them by name in every other interaction that they have with the brand. Now, that may seem like a small thing, right? It may seem like a small thing. But one of the most pleasing sounds that a person could ever hear is their name, right? So once I get them to give me their name, phone number, email address, then I can start the nurture process of building a relationship with them. And that's part of the customer experience. Even before they spend any money with me, I'm conscious of the experience that I want them to have as they interact with the brand. One way to better understand the user experience is to create customer journey map. A customer journey map is a visual representation of how a customer acts, thinks, and feels through the buying process, and can be a valuable tool for creating a cohesive experience. So I put the link to this article in the comments because they actually give you an example of a customer journey map that you can go take a look at. So make sure y'all check that out. We got 2 more, man, and we are running out of time. Next on our list, so we're talking 16 hot marketing trends for 2023. We're doing the first 8 today, and we'll follow up with the next 8 in the next episode. So number 7 on the list is improved user experience across devices. User experience, or UX, is more than just a popular buzzword. It refers to how a person feels when interacting with a system. Good UX design provides a positive experience that fulfills a user's needs and keeps them loyal to the product or brand. I want you to think about this. Your website and or app is arguably your most valuable marketing asset, and a great UX can make all the difference when convincing top of funnel consumers to become consumers. What are they saying? How does your website, the top of the funnel, when people interact with you for the first time, what is that experience like across devices? So is your website on desktop and mobile equally user-friendly? Are you using the same brand colors on your social media pages as you do on your website? So no matter where I see your brand, I recognize that it's you. When designing your site, keep the layout simple, include easy to use navigation, and don't overwhelm users with too much information on the main landing page. You should also be optimizing your website for mobile, especially since more than half of the users worldwide use their phones to browse the internet. Some examples of current UX design trends include minimalism and blanding, or websites free of intrusive advertising and pop-ups, voice-activated interfaces, hands-free controls, animated elements to add intrigue, block web design, scrolly telling, or telling a story using the scroll button, bold colors, video content. Yeah, go check out localbizmarketingpros.com and see how our web team builds our websites with all of these elements. And you'll see we optimize our websites for 3 things. We optimize them for conversion first and foremost. If your website isn't making you any money, it's probably costing you money. And one of the reasons your website isn't making you money because you haven't thought about conversion. Most web designers build websites based on beauty, aesthetics. They want to make sure you are impressed with how the website looks. No, we want to make sure that you're impressed with how the website functions. When someone goes to your website, is it clear that you want them to spend money with you? We optimize for search. The keywords, the tags, the headers, the headlines, the bold text, the underline, the italicized text that catch people's attention. Those are all keywords well researched so that we know that people who are searching for your brand are looking for these keywords, and we want your website to have a better chance showing up on Google when someone is searching for your stuff. So we optimize for search. And the third thing we optimize for is mobile. Not only do we optimize for mobile, but we make sure that those elements are optimized. So it looks good on mobile, but we're trying to convert mobile users. We're trying to convert, we're trying to make sure that your site is found when someone searches on a product or service near me, which means they're probably searching on their phone. We want to make sure your website shows up for that. This, my friends, is how we build better small businesses. And that's what we're dedicated to. So we went through the first 7 today. We're going to go through the last 9 on Monday. So make sure y'all come back and hang out with your boy, man. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in, your engagement, your interaction. It means the most. Just keep in mind, this is listener supported media. In order for me to keep doing this and bringing this content for you for free, check out the links in the show notes and in the descriptions. And if you see a product or service that you like, whether it's our product or one of our sponsors, it's going to help us financially continue to bring this type of content to you. So consider supporting in some way if you can. Appreciate you as always. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.